thanks very much to you if you watched my recent video about finally becoming monetized on YouTube. It was a great milestone for me, and thank you for watching. What I found on that video, I got a lot of engagement. I didn't get a lot of views. Not many people actually watched the video in truth, but I did get a lot of engagement. What I'd seen was that I gained lots and lots of new subscribers, more than 10, which for one video is really quite unprecedented for me. So I feel that video has actually attracted lots of new people, and especially people that might be interested in creating videos. And one of the things I've been trying to do since I've started this YouTube account is try to improve the quality of my videos, in particular my sound quality. And you might have noticed over a recent period, if you've watched many of my videos, the actual quality of my sound has changed. And in some cases, in some ways, you might say that it's too good, it's too studio. And I'll try to explain or give you the history of how I've improved the quality of my sound through my videos as I've progressed. Well, when I started my YouTube account, I was using this, which is a Lavalier mic. And I found this at home. I didn't even know we had it. And it was just a mono Lavalier mic with no dead cat. But it worked, it did its job, and I had the Lavalier mic plugged into the camera, and I had this one strapped to my lapel, and it worked really well. The only trouble with this, that because it was let's say a naked microphone, it did suffer from wind noise, so you couldn't go out in the wind with it. So what I actually did, I went on the Chinese website and I bought this little a dead cat, and this dead cat fits over the front of it, only just because it's a bit too small, and it did help a lot with trying to reduce the wind noise, and that was fine. The only challenge with it, or one of the other challenges, is because it was plugged into the camera and I had this on my lapel, it was a massive trip hazard, and once or twice at least while I was using this, I almost knocked my camera over where I tripped on it and sort of pulled the camera down. So it wasn't ideal. And I could only be so far away from the camera. It's quite a long cable, but I can only be so far away from the camera. So that's what I started out using. But at Christmas last year, I was lucky enough to be given a gift voucher, and I used that gift voucher to buy myself a Rode VideoMicro. So this is an actual shotgun mic, not an expensive one of the cheaper ones that Rode made, and this is the actual microphone. So I started using this microphone, and what this does, it fits onto the hot shoe of the camera, and that plugs into obviously the microphone port, and you really get really good quality crisp sound from this microphone. I think quite a lot of YouTubers use this Rode VideoMicro. It's perfect. And it also comes with this whopping great big dead cat, and that is fantastic for reducing or taking away any wind noise. So if you've listened to any of my more recent videos, especially outside, you probably won't have heard any wind noise, because even in a gale, this seems to work fantastically well. It's a shotgun mic, so it picks up any sound that's directed towards it. And as I said, it fits into the hot shoe, and it's held on by this sort of rubber, it's plastic mount, and because this moves a lot and it's sort of plasticky rubber, it doesn't suffer from any vibration. It doesn't touch the camera, and when it does move, and it moves a lot, especially in the wind, it doesn't vibrate and doesn't make any chattering noise. The one downside to this microphone is that you can't talk to the back, so you can't talk from behind and it picks up the sound, or it does pick it up but not very clearly, which isn't never been a problem to me, because I just turn it round and face it towards me if I'm narrating any scene in the video. So yeah, this has been an absolute brilliant piece of equipment, and I've been pretty much all of my videos since Christmas or just after Christmas last year, I've used this, and that's been a massive improvement to the quality of my sound. But since then, I've had a birthday. I have a birthday later in the year. It was, if you know anything about dates in the UK calendar, my birthday is on Trafalgar Day. So if you know when that is, you'll know when my birthday was. And I was lucky enough to have bought for me this Rode Wireless Me. So I got this as a birthday present, and it comes as a transmitter, a receiver, and this is what I expect to be using from now on. The great thing about this is that because it's wireless, you can be up to between 50 and 100 meters away from your camera. So you, in future, when I start using this outdoors, you should be able to see me from 50 meters away and still hear super crisp audio. So if you ever notice, you often see people with one of these things tucked onto their lapel or their collar, and you hear the sound crystal clear. These are really, really good. So as I said, you would expect I will be hopefully using this lots more often in the future, and hopefully my audio sounds really good. But that's not all I do, because sort of halfway through the year, this year, or even earlier, towards the earlier part of the year, I discovered AI, and I discovered a piece of software or a website called Adobe Podcast. So what I actually do when I record my video, I separate my audio in Adobe Premiere and I create an audio file. Then I upload it into Adobe Podcast, and that then it uses AI and tidies up the audio. It takes away all the echo, because quite often when I'm videoing this room that I'm sat in now, it's a small little box room and it echoes like mad. So what the podcast AI software does, it takes all of that echo away, it takes all of the hiss, and it tidies up the audio really nice. And you could argue that sometimes the audio that you hear me speaking is potentially too good, and it sounds, in some instances, sounds like studio quality. But in other instances, I have to admit, the AI software just works too well, and it clips some of the words that I speak. So it's good and bad. What I will do, just for you, to see you can get an idea of all the various sort of pieces of equipment I've got here, I will do a little bit of a test, a recording. I'll record some words using the Rode Wireless Me, and I'll record those, no edits whatsoever. And I'll also do a recording of the Rode VideoMicro, and you can see what the sound quality of this is like, unedited. And then finally, or at the start, I'll do a recording of this lavalier mic, and let's see, we can have a look at the differences and see which one you think is the best. But of course, what I'll also do is I'll upload the recordings into Adobe Podcast, and we'll have a look at those as well. So I'll do a bit of everything. Let's see which one you think comes out the best. Firstly, I've attached the Rode Wireless Me to my sweater, and I'll just say a few words just to start us off, and this will be unedited. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. Now I've connected the Rode VideoMicro to the camera, and that's the audio you're hearing. And here are my Rode Wireless Me receiver and transmitter, just to show you that it's not on the camera. So once again, I'll do a test on this. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. And finally, I've got the lavalier mic, and here's the cable. As you can see, it's strapped into my sweater. And I'm going to do the same test, and let's see how this works. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. Now I've tested all three. Let's see what you think. First is the Rode Wireless Me. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. Second is the Rode VideoMicro. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. And third is the lavalier mic. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. The lazy brown fox jumped over the dog. And I haven't listened to these yet, but I'm going to make an assumption that all three of them, there's a bit of an echo in this room. It's not quite right. What I'll do now is jump on my computer and I'll upload the audio files and show you how Adobe Podcast works. And you can see exactly how easy it is to upload an Adobe file and then get the quality output back. So I'm in Adobe Podcast now, and what I've done is I've put the video files that I've just recorded into Adobe Premiere, and then I've exported the audio. And now I've just started Adobe Podcast website, and I have to log in using my Google account. I've logged in, and then I'm just ready to upload, and let's see what happens. So what I do is I just choose files, and then I go into my documents where my files are stored, and I pick the one that I need there, and I just open that, and then that's it. Simple. Just picked one file, uploaded it into Adobe Podcast. It says it can take up to 10 minutes, but generally it's only a minute or two and they're done. It depends on the size of the audio. So potentially, if I've recorded a 15-minute video, then the audio file will be much, much bigger, and it takes a bit longer to sort of download that audio file. But it's never too long. It doesn't normally take more than a couple of minutes anyway. That's it. It's created the file for me. It's sort of edited. It uses the AI software to take all the noise out, or the hiss, the echo, all the sort of artifacts that wouldn't normally be in an audio file. And as you can see, it's just asking me to download. So I just click on the download button, and it's downloading the file on my screen there as a WAV file. So once that's downloaded, then I'll just import that back into Adobe Premiere, and I'll start editing with that file now instead of the file that's already in there, and I'll delete the original audio out and start using it on that document. As always, thanks very much indeed for watching this video. Hope this sound video is helpful to you, especially if you're interested in making videos. You don't really need the best quality microphones because you can use Adobe Podcast, which really, really improves the audio a lot. And a fundamental part of having a good quality video is audio. You can have rubbish, shaky cameras and all the rest of it, but you can't have rubbish audio. People won't listen to the sound. Your viewers will turn off immediately. So the fact that we've got access to Adobe Podcast, now hopefully it stays free, is a godsend. Once again, thank you very much indeed for watching this video. Or as always, if you like these video type content, then by all means please subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.